Hey guys, welcome back to Clear Academics. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to solve this exponential problem. Alright, so I have 8 to the power of x plus 8 to the power of x plus 8 to the power of x plus 8 to the power of x is equal to 8. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to factor out 8 to the power of x from my left-hand side. So now I have 8 to the power of x times, now 8 to the power of x divided by 8 to the power of x is 1. So I have 8 to the power of x times 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. Now this is equal to 8. Now 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, and 3 plus 1 is 4. So I have 8 to the power of x times 4 is equal to 8. Now, if I divide both sides by 4, these two cancel out, and I'll be left with 8 to the power of x is equal to 8 divided by 4, which is 2. And 8 here, this is the same thing as 2 to the power of 3. So now I have 2 to the power of 3 to the power of x is equal to 2. And 2 to the power of 3 to the power of x, that's the same thing as 2 to the power of 3x is equal to 2. And now if I have something in the form a to the power of m is equal to a to the power of n, this means that m is equal to n. So in this case, 2 is the same thing as 2 to the power of 1, so 3x is equal to 1. Now to solve this, all I have to do is divide both sides by 3, these two cancel out, and now I'll be left with x is equal to 1 over 3. So this is my answer. So now if I plug in, now to check, first start with a to the power of x plus a to the power of x plus a to the power of x plus a to the power of x is equal to 8. So I know the value of x is 1/3, but before that, I'm actually going to change 8 to 2 to the power of 3. So now I have 2 to the power of 3 to the power of x plus 2 to the power of 3 to the power of x plus 2 to the power of 3 to the power of x plus 2 to the power of 3 to the power of x is equal to 8. Now x is 1/3, so now I have 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 1/3 plus 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 1/3 plus 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 1/3 plus 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 1/3 is equal to 8. Now 3 and 1/3 are going to cancel out, so now I'll simply be left with 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is equal to 8, and 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 8, so I have 8 is equal to 8, and because this is right, my solution is right. Alright, so in this problem, I have x to the power of 4 minus 9 is equal to 0. So to solve this, I'm going to first replace x to the power of 4 with x to the power of 2 times 2. So I simply substituted in 2 times 2 for 4. So now I have x to the power of 2 times 2 minus 9 is equal to 0. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m times n, this is equal to a to the power of m to the power of n. So x to the power of 2 times 2, I can rewrite that as x to the power of 2 to the power of 2. Now this minus 9 is equal to 0. Now 9, this is the same thing as 3 to the power of 2. So now I have x to the power of 2 to the power of 2 minus 3 to the power of 2 is equal to 0. Now if I have something in the form a squared minus b squared, this is equal to a plus b times a minus b. In this case, a is equal to x to the power of 2, and b is equal to 3. So now I have x to the power of 2 plus 3 times x to the power of 2 minus 3. And this is equal to 0. Now I can split this into two equations. I have x to the power of 2 plus 3 is equal to 0, and I have x to the power of 2 minus 3 is equal to 0. So for x to the power of 2 plus 3 equals 0, I can simply subtract 3 on both sides, and I'll be left with x to the power of 2 equals negative 3. Now if I take the square root on both sides, square root of x squared is x, and the square root of negative 3 is the same thing as the square root of 3 times the square root of negative 1. And the square root of negative 1 is equal to I. So now I have x is equal to square root of 3i. This is positive or negative. So those are two solutions. Now for x squared minus 3 equals 0, I can add 3 on both sides, and I have x squared is equal to positive 3. Now if I take the square root on both sides, square root of x squared is x, and I have positive or negative square root of 3. So these are two more solutions. So now, my four solutions are x is equal to positive square root of 3i, x is equal to negative square root of 3i, x is equal to square root of 3, and x is equal to negative square root of 3. So these are my four solutions to this problem. Alright, so in this problem, I have x to the power of 4 minus 25 is equal to 0. So now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite x to the power of 4 as x to the power of 2 times 2. So now I have x to the power of 2 times 2 minus 25, I'm going to rewrite as 5 to the power of 2. So I have x to the power of 2 times 2 minus 5 to the power of 2 is equal to 0. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m times n, this is equal to a to the power of m to the power of n. So in this case, x to the power of 2 times 2, I can rewrite as x to the power of 2 to the power of 2. Now I have this minus 5 to the power of 2 is equal to 0. Now, if I have something in the form a squared minus b squared, this is equal to a plus b times a minus b. So in this case, a is equal to x to the power of 2, and b is equal to 5. So now I have x to the power of 2 plus 5 times x to the power of 2 minus 5 is equal to 0. So now, this is actually going to give me two equations. I have x to the power of 2 plus 5 is equal to 0, and I have x to the power of 2 minus 5 is equal to 0. So, for x to the power of 2 plus 5 equals 0, I can simply subtract 5 on both sides, so then these two cancel out, and now I'll be left with x squared is equal to negative 5. Now, I'm going to take the square root on both sides. Square root of x squared is x, and the square root of negative 5, that's going to be the square root of 5 times the square root of negative 1. Now the square root of negative 1 is equal to the imaginary number I. So now if I replace the square root of negative 1 with I get x is equal to the square root of 5i. So this is my answer. And this is actually positive or negative square root of 5i. So these are two solutions. Now for x squared minus 5 equals 0, I'm going to add 5 on both sides, so then these two cancel out, and now I'll have x squared is equal to 5. Now, if I take the square root on both sides, the square root of x squared is x, and the square root of negative 5, that's positive or negative square root of negative 5. So these are two more solutions to this problem. So my four solutions to this problem are the square root of 5, the square root of, negative square root of 5, square root of 5i, and negative square root of 5i. So these are my four solutions. Hey guys, welcome back to Click Academics. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to solve this exponential equation. So we have 7 to the power of x is equal to 70. Now we can first start by converting 70 to 7 times 10. So now we have 7 to the power of x is equal to 7 times 10. Now I'm going to divide by 7 on both sides. So now we have 7 to the power of x over 7 is equal to, these two cancel out, so simply just 10. Now, if we have something in the form a to the power of m over a to the power of n, This is simply equal to a to the power of m minus n. So 7 to the power of x over 7, this would be 7 to the power of x minus 1. And now this is equal to 10. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the log of both sides. So now we have log 7 to the power of x minus 1 is equal to log 10. Now, the power property of logarithm states that I can actually move this exponent here to the front of the log. So now this would be x minus 1 log 7 is equal to log 10. Now I'm going to divide both sides by log 7. So now these two cancel out, and I get x minus 1 is equal to log 10 over log 7. Now, if I add 1 on both sides, I get x is equal to 1 plus log 10 over log 7. So this is our answer.